So a while back, this was early June. I used one of my razors, right? I used one of my razors to try fix my skin. Well, try shave my facial features, and it really damaged my skin. I don't know if you could tell, but if you check out my first videos in the month of June, I really damaged my skin because I used the wrong razor, right? And I later on found out that the razors I used were primarily for white people. And as a black man, you must know, this video is primarily to the black people. Our hair tends to grow a lot differently in comparison to our white counterparts. You see, we black people have naturally curly hair, and this can apply for facial hair and, mustache hair, but mustache hair also, alongside with just the actual hair you have. That can play a major factor too, and our hair tends to curl. Now, the mistake I did, I used a single blade razor. No, I used a triple blade razor, which is tailored for straight type hair. So what I did was, I shaved my hair, and it gave my skin the illusion that it was shaving straight, or it had straight hair. And what this did, it curled underneath the follicles of my skin, and then it resulted to bumps forming because it tried to get back to its original state. But it physically couldn't be done because I shaved too into my skin to the point where it started to affect underneath, and then it starts to accumulate to razor bumps, what we call razor bumps, the really irritating thing that takes a while to get rid of. This is going to be a quick video of me just telling you how I managed to, solve my solutions, how I managed to find a solution with the whole issue with my skincare, and how I was able to fix it. Because guys, when you have poor skin, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to go out. It sucks. Your self-esteem is gone. You're not feeling good. You're not looking good. And this was in summer also, guys. And as you know, you don't look good, man. You don't feel good. You fucked yourself up physically. Yeah, you're gonna feel confident to go outside. And that's why when I was recording some of my videos back last month, I felt like shit. So I'm gonna give you a quick solution. Now, I've been scrambling and scraping along the internet for a long time, trying to find solutions, all different kinds of products. And I'm a skeptical guy. I don't like to just buy something straight away, just to find out something doesn't work, especially when you're not in the best financial position. It's only natural that you will have some form of scarcity, right? Because, obviously I'm not a rich guy yet. I'm only 19 years old as I speak. God willing, they'll get better in the future financially, but I didn't really have that much money in the bank, so I had to be very picky with what I chose. And I had to make sure what I chose was the best product that is guaranteed to make my skin feel better. And after many scrambling and scraping with the internet, just checking for products, I found this one super useful product. It was from an unknown YouTuber, had a low following. Funny how that works. So the people with the low following actually have the product that was needed for me, whereas the people with a high following did not. And even if they did, common reviews were that the product stinks really bad, and I was like, nah, I don't want a stinky face and whatnot. So this was the best option I could pick. That product is TenSkin. It's a blue product. It's not sponsored or anything, so I'm not gonna promote it like it's really sponsored, but that's the product I use, £25. And it's gonna be a very quick video, so honestly, you do that. Now, when you use TenSkin, what I don't want you to do is, I don't want you to just forcibly rub it onto your skin, because you're going to destroy the bumps. I know the bumps can be very irritating, very tensing to the, it's just very tempting to destroy, I hear it, but it's usually like that with pretty much any injury that you come across. You really want to destroy it, don't, because if you try to entertain and, apply force on those bumps, it's only going to grow more. You will get some pus from destroying it, but it's only going to end up being a lot worse. It's going to ruin your skin a lot more, and you just added more salt to the wound, so now you're bleeding more physically and mentally. So don't do that. But what you want to do is, you want to apply some cotton buds, and you want to dip those cotton buds, and you want to apply a small amount of TenSkin. This will last you about 2 weeks until you really start seeing progress. But from my own personal experience, the first three days, first 1 to 5 days was the hardest part mentally, because that's all that's on your mind. So that I say persevere, keep going, because it will eventually erode. After about 2 to 3 days of applying TenSkin, I noticed that the rough feeling, the razor bumps in my face, it began to disappear. Now, don't get me wrong, the look was still there, but like I told you, it's a 2-week process, roughly a 2-week process for it to disappear. The first 1 to 5 days, it's a big uphill battle. And don't get me wrong, like I said, the first 1 to 3 days, the texture on your face will feel a lot better. But still, I would say the first 1 to 5 days, it's gonna feel, you're gonna have some doubts in your mind. You're gonna think to yourself, what's the fucking point of doing this, putting this product? Nothing is happening. What I found is when I got to the 6 to a week mark, 6 to 7 days, that's where I really started to notice differences, and the razor bumps are starting to shrink little by little. And every day I noticed progress was starting to come in. Now, when you're applying this product into your face, even on day 8, 9, 10, because it's a gradual process every day, you may feel like nothing is happening. From my experience, when I finished the end of the 2 weeks, I started to realize progress being made, and progress was made, because after those 2 weeks, which felt like an eternity, but after those 2 weeks, my skin drastically decreased. I will have B-roll throughout this video. So I want to apply those cotton buds, dip those cotton buds, and just, it's on the screen. Painting circles around the areas to which are injured. After that, you may want to smudge it a little bit with your hands, but not in a forceful-like motion, although it can be tempting. Then I want you to pat it dry. I want you to get your get your sponge, and then, rinse the sponge with water, drench it in water. Pat yourself with it. Don't aggressively just swipe it around your face like I used to do. More painful, and it's more damaging to your skin in the long run, so don't do that. I just want you to give it some little pats. You don't need to squeeze it all the way because you're going to make your knees dirty. Once that's done, get the towel, apply the towel, of course, pat your face off, all that good stuff. Do that. And after that, you can apply any ointment products you want, so long as it's healthy for your skin. Don't just apply anything. So I usually just apply the E45 or something like that and whatnot. Make sure it's a healthy moisturizer for your skin. It doesn't really have to be expensive. So I was using this £1 moisturizer from Poundland, an exclusive shop in England here in London. Very useful, and it helped me with my skin. And after 2 weeks, it was pretty much better. And I showed you some B-roll on the camera, so you've seen the progression. And now, I would say now, my skin right now, it's moved about 100%, well, damn near 100%. So for the black men, I'd recommend using a single blade razor, or just use an electric razor that's single bladed. So it's not going to pierce through the entirety of your skin. But I do not recommend using a triple blade razor. I'm warning you, it heightens the risk of you receiving those type of injuries. Now, if you do want to use it still, you really have to rely on your technique, and there's a certain way you have to use the razor. When you have the third blade razor, if you're black, if you're white, you can pretty much ignore it because the product is tailored to your skin. But to the black people, when you use that type of razor, you kind of want to just quickly and then quickly go. It's not like one of the single blade razors which are tailored for black people, where you can just kind of take your time. With a triple blade razor for black people specifically, if you try to do the regular, just you move and make your way up. I've tried that. I've grown razor bumps, and it comes instantly. It makes itself very obvious. Fucks up your skin. You look like shit. I know what it's like. Don't put yourself through that. This is just a quick video to help you black guys out. Learn from my mistakes. Let me know how it is in the comments after. I'm pretty sure after about 1 to 2 weeks, it should be pretty good. Depending on how big of the razor bumps you are. Stick to 10 skins, £25 on Amazon. I know it's pricey. It's definitely worth the price, hence why the price is high. It will work. Let me know how it's been for you, how your skincare is going on. Take care. So